seen the best of me.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Stafford on first down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, Stafford here. And that's incomplete. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been because it's been an all-around game for him, taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback and sacking him himself, doing a number of different things that change the way the game is played.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Going deep here for Stills. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kenny Stills, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Gone!
On first down, Goodman. Complete to Stewart, right side. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing on first down, Goodman. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Operating from the gun. Goodman. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 3.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even.
And Stafford's going to be taken down. That's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Leopard! Leopard!
On 1st and 10, Goodman. It's caught. It's Stewart. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On 1st down, Goodman. He completes it to Stewart. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football.
Me the ball.
And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
No, check, Patriot!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Detroit!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On 4th down, Goodman. Open man is Stewart. It's complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Detroit!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he knocks it through. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 6 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And Ingram pulls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Stafford now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch him on their heels.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the back.
The first down carry here for Johnson. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Here's Stafford. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Open man right side is Ingram. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That's taken in by Stewart. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Throwing on first down. Goodman. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Shaq Lawson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now they try the right side here. And some room to work. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're going to face a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Saints will have the football back. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Johnson on the counter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And this really is a good defense because what they've done is focus on stopping the running game and being physical against it.
And the numbers, they really bear that out. They're currently 5th in the National Football League in rushing defense. Throwing is Stafford. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
11.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to weigh in enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a handoff looking right. And some room to maneuver. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, Goodman. Past the 20. And he's got this one complete to Stewart. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Stafford now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again is Stafford. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Third and long, it's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Goodman. And his throw's going to be incomplete. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. Raymond now on the return. Oh, jumping over. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now they'll run it on the taunts. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll try and throw for it here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in a 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw on second down is Stafford. And Stills over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Now a handoff. Johnson. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, it was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
From the gun on third down, Stafford, and that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And out now come the Seahawks. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. To throw on third down. Goodman. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Throws right side, and that's complete. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Looking to throw. Goodman. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now a handoff looking right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Operating from the gun. Goodman. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 24. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now it's Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards. Now he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. but you go to that guy and try and turn it high. Try and get things going. Find a way.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Evan Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
That's fielded in the end zone. He goes airborne. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. Sidesteps him at the 35. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. 79 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run. Back now in Seattle, Washington, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On first down, it's Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He sets to fire. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 39 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
21. Set. Waiting.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And they're running right through him. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Touchdown, Saints. Evan Ingram, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Saints get a bit closer. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
Now they try the right side here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Going to throw right side here, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Stafford on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Leopard. Watch him now, Barney.
Back to throw. Goodman is complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold them to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Set. 180.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Set. 180.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force 1 more play before the 2-minute warning. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He'll drop to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
Set. 180.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Saints on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he finds Stills, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. On first down, Stafford here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And his throw here is incomplete. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Leopard! We got 4. Shift. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. And the Seahawks on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel